Welcome to Michi and Poppy's Kitchen. Today it is Fruit Loop cake time. Fruit Loop cake, never heard of it, me either. It is my granddaughter's 4th birthday today, or well, my granddaughter Ingram's 4th birthday. I've got 5 granddaughters. And I asked her what kind of a cake she wants for lunch. They're coming over for lunch today. And she told me a Fruit Loop cake. The girl is Fruit Loop crazy. She loves Fruit Loops. Never heard of a Fruit Loop cake, so what do? I look up Fruit Loop cakes and found a recipe. We're going to try it. It sounds like it's going to be so good, but we'll do this and see if it does taste as good as I think it's going to taste. Okay, so the recipe that I found, it's a from scratch cake. If you've watched my videos before, I've done from scratch cakes and I've done cakes from cake mixes, and I like the cake mix cakes better than I like the from scratch cakes. So I like Duncan Hines. So I am going to start with a Duncan Hines white cake mix. Put that in. So what I'm doing, instead of following their directions, I'm kind of just combining my recipe that I like with their recipe for the Fruit Loop cake. So always to my Duncan Hines cake mixes, I add a cup of melted butter, which is 2 sticks. So we'll do that. Then we always add 3 eggs. So doing that. Okay, this is where it varies a little bit, because normally I add a cup of milk to this, and then I add some almond and vanilla, and it makes a delicious white cake. But we're not doing white cake. We're doing Fruit Loop cake for Ingram. So in their cake, and I will link the recipe to the bottom, but in their cake, Fruit Loop cake from scratch, they add a cup and a half of cereal milk. So what we did is we soaked 2 cups of Fruit Loops in 2 cups of milk. And they said for 15 minutes. Mine was more like 45 minutes. But like, what's the best part of cereal? It's the milk at the end, especially the good old not good for you cereals. That good sweet Fruit Loop flavored milk. Okay, so this is a cup and a half of it. The reason I normally only do a cup of milk in any kind of cake mix cake that I do, but we're also going to add some ground Fruit Loops to this. So since there's going to be more dry, I'm going to go with their suggestion of a cup and a half of cereal milk. Yeah. Okay, and then it's a cup of finely ground Fruit Loops, which was about 3 cups of just the regular Fruit Loops. I did it in my food processor. Now there are some like bigger little specks in here but I couldn't get it any smaller, and I just think that'll be good. Okay, so we're gonna mix. Oh, what am I doing? I was about to stir it. I'm going to mix this in the mixer 30 seconds on low, and then on medium to medium high for about 2 more minutes. It's what I always do, so I'm hoping that's what I should do for this one too. And then we'll come back. I can't wait to try this. Thanks, Ingram, for this idea. Okay, it's all mixed. It's a good thick consistency like I like for it to get. I know this might gross some of y'all out because raw eggs and all of that stuff, but I've got to try this. So good. Yum. Okay. I've got 2 8-inch cake pans. I'm going to do. So I just kind of eyeball it. Try to get about the same amount in each one. Okay, and then I'm going to put these, since it's 8-inch cake pans, going to put them in the oven for about 24 minutes, it says. I always just kind of watch at about the 20-minute level. I like for my cakes to be real good and moist, and So I don't like to overbake them at all. I mean, nobody likes to overbake it, but I mean, I kind of just wait till right when you can tell it gets done in the center. And that's when I take them out. So that's what I'll do for these. And then I will come back. We're going to make Fruit Loop icing for this. And then we're going to decorate it with Fruit Loops on the outside. Okay, be right back. Okay, so the cakes are out. I don't know if you can see the little flakes of Fruit Loops in there, but so cute. I hope it tastes as cute as it looks. Okay, so again, he has a different recipe, or she, I think it's a he, for the from scratch cake that I was telling you about, the recipe. I have my favorite. I've tried all kinds of different frostings, and I've come up with one that it just can't be beat in my opinion. So I'm going to do it and then just add the Fruit Loop flavoring that he suggests, and we'll see how that goes. I've got the link to the video that shows the cake recipe that I love, that I've found. I've put several different recipes together. It's such a good cake. But anyway, so this is how we get started with the frosting. I've got a cup of shortening, and I know I don't like the thought of shortening either, but I'm telling you, I tried several different recipes, and this is the one that it beat all the rest. And then a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. And then you're going to add a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. And I always use the fine grained sea salt. I don't know why. It just seems to add a little more flavor to me. Okay, fourth of a teaspoon of salt. And then I mix this, and a teaspoon of vanilla that I'm about out of. But thank heavens, I just started a new batch. Of course, it won't be ready for 6 months. But if you watched that video, I'll link that one to the bottom too. Look at, this was vodka. This was just clear vodka 2 days ago. Look how much more color it has already gotten in 2 days. And I see the little vanilla seeds floating in there. Y'all, this is so good. Okay, so I mix these solid ingredients first, just until they're good and smooth and creamy. And then I add a 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar. And I always sift it, because if you decorate, it gets stuck in the tips if you don't sift it. It doesn't look like there's a bunch of clumps in there, but apparently there are. Okay, so got that smooth and creamy. So now I'm going to sift in the 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar, a little at a time. So you don't want to see me do all that. So I will do this, and then I will be right back. And this is just how I do it. I just beat it against the side like this. And then once this gets done, put in more and keep going. It takes probably about 5 minutes or so. Okay, I just got to thinking. I kind of misled you just then. I do about a fourth of the bag, and then I take my spatula and wipe it down, wipe the sides down, and then just on slow, unless you want a powdered sugar face mask. And then once it gets incorporated, then you start turning it up a little bit. And then when it gets really thick, that's when I start, after I've done probably about half of the bag, that's when I start adding the milk to it. And the difference with this is, if you saw, I soaked 2 cups of milk with 2 cups of Fruit Loops, drained the milk out of the Fruit Loops, saved the milk, and I used a cup and a half in the cake recipe. So what do I do with the other half of the cereal milk? Yum. I'm putting it in the icing. And that's going to flavor it, give it a Fruit Loop flavor. I hope. Like I said, I've never done this before. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that. I'm just going to keep sifting the sugar. Then I'll put a little milk as it gets thick and see how much. I don't know if I'm going to use all of this milk or not, but we'll see. I like it to be a spreadable consistency at the end. Okay, now I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. The cakes have cooled. Everything's ready to go, and it takes a while for the cakes to cool. So in the meantime, I have browned the ground beef for Poppy's pasta bake. We're going to make him gluten-free. And I have done the chicken for the chicken Alfredo for the rest of the kids. When I asked Ingram what she wanted for her birthday dinner, she said pasta and a Fruit Loop cake. So she's getting all of those things. I hope you'll get to meet her. I hope she gets to do the taste test for us, but if not, I'll come back and tell you if she gives it a thumbs up or thumbs down. But I love our little birthday girl. But anyway, okay, so the next thing we're going to do for our Fruit Loop cake is I always put a little bit of icing at the bottom just so the cake doesn't slide around when you slice it and things. Not necessary, but it just helps. And if I were selling this cake, or if I were presenting it to somebody besides just immediate family, I would cut the brown edges off of the sides. It's just prettier when you slice into a cake. But I don't have a lot of time, nor does my family care if our cakes have brown edges. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, so I'm putting some in the middle. Just spreading that around. Oh, and I did taste this. And it has a slight Fruit Loop taste. It's not real Fruit Loopy tasting, but it's got a slight taste. And by the time we do this and the cake has Fruit Loop flavor, and then we're going to press Fruit Loops to the side of it, it'll be a Fruit Loop cake. Okay, then another slice up there. We're going to just get this covered. Nothing special about this, because like I said, we're just going to press some Fruit Loops around the sides of the edges of it. Gosh, this icing is a little thick. I probably should have added a little bit more milk to it, because I did use that whole half a cup. The half of a cup that was left from the infused cereal milk. And it's still a little bit thick, but that's okay. It looks like it's spreading fine. Okay, to do the edges, I always just put clumps around, to do the sides, I always put clumps around the edge and then just bring it down like this. And just ice it. Gosh, it's hard to do it this way because usually I'm doing it where I can see it. But anyway, so that's how I do that. And now I'm going to do it where I can see it so it'll go faster. Okay, so I've got it all covered, and the next thing I'm going to do is put the Fruit Loops around the edge. Now, if there's one thing that I know about myself, it's that I'm messy. So I'm going to put it in a pan that will be a catch-all, and I'm just going to press Fruit Loops to the side. That looks like how they did it. Oh, I think I need that'll fit. I need my turner to make it easier. Yes, that fits. Yay. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's much easier. All right, and just take some in your hand. It's a double Fruit Loop. And just press it along the side. Good news, you don't have to be real neat when you ice your cake on the sides, because you're going to be covering it all up with Fruit Loops. Now, I am going to put a little kind of decoration on here since it's my baby's birthday. The picture that I've got the recipe linked at the bottom, they don't have like decorations. It's just Fruit Loops on the side, which it makes, I mean, it's cute just that way. But I have extra icing. I've got icing tips. I like to do it. So that's what I'm doing. Funny thing about Fruit Loops with my grandkids. So when they started spending the night years ago, I would, like for days, I would plan the breakfast menu thinking of what they would love for breakfast. I would go buy all the stuff, and I would just, because I love breakfast, and I would just, oh, I can't wait. And then, you know, they're going to grow up thinking about their Miji's breakfast when they spent the night. All they want is cereal. I would go to all this trouble fixing all this good breakfast stuff, and they wouldn't eat a bite. They only wanted cereal. So maybe it's because they don't get Fruit Loops often. So they know that Miji and Poppy will give in to their Fruit Loop demands, whereas their parents might not. So anyway, yes, do I know this is not the best thing to feed my grandchildren? Absolutely. Do I know that I don't feed them every day? Yes. So when they come to Miji and Poppy's, they might get a little special treat that they don't get every other day. Okay, that is cute. Look how cute that is. But that is the beauty of being a grandparent, is that you don't have to worry about their everyday kind of. Okay, and I've just got the 1M tip with some frosting in here. And it just, you can just do a little, here, I'll just do a little simple little squeezes, and it makes cute little, I don't even know what to call these. Kind of looks like a little flower, maybe. That's what I'll do on the bottom, and that way that cleans up the bottom edge and gives it a little spunk, like my girl. She's sweet as she can be. Got a little spunk, like the rest of them. Okay, then I'm going to do around the top edges, same thing with the same tip. But I'm going to do little, I don't even know what to call, I don't know the words for these things. Little kind of waves where I do like that. Because then I'm going to, I ground up some Fruit Loops into Fruit Loop dust, and I'm going to sprinkle that on the top of this, giving it a little bit more Fruit Loop flavor. If you've never worked with tips, don't be scared. They're easy. Just play around with it. Nobody will ever know. Okay. That's really cute. Okay, and then I just, in a little baggie, I just ground up some Fruit Loops. Put it on my little waves that I just made. Make sure they get, and then put a little on the top. Okay, she's gonna love this. I'm excited. Okay, like I said, I hope I can get her on here telling you if she liked it or not. But if not, I'll let you know. If this was a thumbs up or thumbs down kind of cake, clean up the edges. Okay, how cute is that? A Fruit Loop cake. All right, be back to let you know if this is 2 thumbs up or not.
Cha-cha-cha!
Good job.
Excuse me. Loki! Look! Loki says it's upside down.
Look at me, look. All right, Ings, how'd you like your birthday gifts?
Good.
Oh, you got some binoculars, didn't you? All right, how'd you like the cake? Did you like it okay? Did you love it or did you just like it?
Like it.
You just liked it, you didn't love it?
Somebody else is loving it.
I love it.
You loved it? Oh, good. I thought it was really good. It was moist. It had some Fruit Loop flavor, but it wasn't just overloaded with Fruit Loop flavor, but it was good. And then there were Fruit Loops. There were Fruit Loops all around the edge, but there aren't anymore. But anyway, it's a keeper. I will keep this recipe. It was really good. They loved seeing all the Fruit Loop stuff on there, and it was delicious. And so that's a keeper. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, Ings.